Hello guys, this is Ray here once again. So in today's video, we're going to continue from where we stop on how to build digital assets, how to invest in digital assets, okay? So in our series today, we're going to be talking about how to create the blog using WordPress this time around, the WordPress content management system, okay? And it's going to be the hosted WordPress. The other one we're talking about how to use the free Google Blogger platform. The free Google Blogger platform has its own limitations and all that. And for serious business minded people, I think you ought to get your own server, buy a server. You can get a server for as low as 10,000 naira or even 6,000 naira that can accommodate this. Okay. So we'll be using the Namecheap server. I already have a server on Namecheap, which we use for most of our projects, for smaller projects and all that. So that's the server I'm going to be using today. Okay. So the domain has been purchased. Okay. The domain we're using today is relatedfinance.com. Relatedfinance.com. Okay. So, and we're using the Namecheap hosting server. They have some quite some affordable um, hosting packages, shared hosting plans that you can go for. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight. The first thing we want to do is to go to where the domain was purchased to now point the domain to where the hosting will be, which is on Namecheap. So we're going to point the name server, change the name server from the default domain name server to the Namecheap name server. Okay, so I'm going to go to domainhosting.com.ng, which I already have open here, and this is the domain we're working with today, relatedfinance.com. It's a finance domain. Now, if you check this domain keyword on Google, you're going to see that this keyword has a search volume. Okay, relatedfinance.com. So related finance, that's the keyword. So now, while the search is still loading, we can proceed to ensure that this name server, so this is the name server dns1.namecheaphosting.com and dns2. So these are the name server. So by putting this name server here instead of the original default name server that is on domainhosting.com, it means that you can now manage this domain on your Namecheap server. This domain can now be available for you to use to host, okay, on your Namecheap server. So I have pointed this domain, I added the name server, then I click change name server. Already say you said you can change where your domain points to here. Please be aware changes can take up to 24 hours to propagate, but most times it propagate instantly. Okay. So now that the domain has been pointed to the Namecheap server, what I'm going to do now is to head across to my Namecheap account. Okay, I'm going to log into my Namecheap account here. The Namecheap hosting comes with what we call the cPanel. cPanel is like a panel where you can manage your domain, your hosting, your account, and all that. So it's loading. So all I'm just going to do is to go to my cPanel where I can manage everything. So now when I get to the cPanel, I'm going to walk us around for those that are not conversant with this kind of platform. For people that are conversant, good. For those that are not, so when you log into your cPanel, this is how the cPanel looks like. It shows you the server information, the IP, your storage, your memory, your disk usage, your entry processors, CPU usage, number of processors, your MySQL uh, database, disk usage, see all the statistics, your add-on domains, and so on and so forth, your email. So everything that happens on web development and all that, you see them here. So file manager, this is where you manage your files, images, directory privacy. Then you have the email. This is where you create email account like info at so domain.com. So where you create your email and all that, then mailing list, spam filters, encryption, email disk usage. Then the database section is where you manage your database, PHP MySQL database, and so on and so forth. Then domains, this is where you manage domains. And if you have pointed a domain, after pointing a domain to this name server, you need to come here and add the domain as an add-on domain. You click on add-on domain, put the domain, click on add. I have already done that for the related finance domain, so I'm not going to do that again. It's pretty simple. Once you click here, you see where it asks you to put the add-on domain. So you just type relatedfinance.com and click add domain. So once it checks and it finds out that the domain name server is pointing to it automatically, the domain will be added. Then a directory, a folder will be created where you can upload any files you want to be accessible on the internet. Okay, so after that, you see the security, visitors, obstacles, advanced password security, and all that. So after that, we want to install a WordPress. cPanel comes with a software installer that can install so many software for you, and one of them is the WordPress content management system. So, and that's what we're going to be installing today. Okay. Now, before we proceed to install WordPress on our our new domain, relatedfinance.com, there is one thing we need to do. We need to set up the SSL, the security layer, the green seal that shows. Now, if I'm trying to open relatedfinance.com right now, okay, it might not open. Okay, it might show me that there is no security that. Okay, let's just try relatedfinance.com. Let's check that out. So you see, it said the site is not secure. You see, site not secure. This site can be reached, secure, invalid certificate. So we need to set up the security. Now, the hosting company in Namecheap sells their security SSL for about $10 per month or thereabout. So if you come under security, you see SSL and TLS. So if you click there, there's a place you can purchase. But for the project we want to do, we don't necessarily need to buy an SSL. There's a way to get a free SSL, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you're going to go to a domain called PunchLab, punchsalad.com/SSL certificate generator. Okay, so this SSL is from a company called Let's Encrypt. It's a free open source security layer. So now we're going to put the domain here. The domain was related finance. Okay, so we're going to say relatedfinance.com, www. Both the non-www and the www version of the domain. Then after that, we're going to put the email here, which is of course going to be info@relatedfinance.com. Then HTTP selected. Then just click to accept their um, terms and condition. So you click create free SSL certificate. Okay. So that is loading. Now, while it's loading, okay, it's here already. They said let's verify that you own this domain. Step by step tutorial. Download these two files. Create a folder called well known in the root folder of your domain, and inside the well known, create another folder ACME challenge. Then upload the above files inside the ACME folder. Then click on the below link to check and verify. Okay. So I'm going to download this, then download the second one. These are for verification that you actually are the rightful owner. So now from the cPanel here, you click on File Manager. This is it, File Manager. It loads and bring you to the home directory. Then you now search for a folder was created. This is a folder was created when I added this add-on domain, relatedfinance.com. So inside here is where I put all my files that I want to be shown on the home page. So now there's a folder here called CGI bin. I could delete it because it's just a default folder that comes. But what I do is to use it and do the .well-known folder that we're instructed to do to create our SSL. So I call this I .well-known. I rename it to dot well known. Then I double click and go inside and create another folder as instructed, ACME challenge. This is it. Then I create this folder. Then inside I enter the ACME challenge folder. Then I click on upload so that I can upload these two verification file that I need for the SSL to verify my ownership of the domain. I drag and drop this here and I drag and drop just little files, so it's not going to take time to upload. Then I click here to go back because I'm done with that. So I'm going to head back to PunchLab and tell them, hey guys, I'm done. Can you go and verify? So I click on this verification. So they're actually checking if that file is available on that server. Once it's available, they will now generate the SSL certificate, private key, and all the things I'm going to need for the SSL. Okay, so I'm going to click this, close that. So these are the SSL certificates, private keys, and all that. See, they've been generated. So check very well the way I'm copying. I copy from begin certificate. I go, these are two in one. So I'll stop at end certificate here. I copy this. Then I come back to the cPanel where we have this SSL forward slash TSL. Then I scroll to manage SSL sites. Now, there are some hosting that comes with the free certificate. You don't have to go through all this. So then I scroll down, I click on select domain and I look for related finance. Related finance. I select that. Then I paste the certificate here. Okay. Then I come back here. I carry the remaining one till the end. Then this is for the certificate bundle, which is certificate authority bundle. And I go back again. The last one is the private key. This is it, private key. So I copy the private key. Then I come back here and I paste it here where the private key is needed. Then once I'm done, I click install certificate. So SSL host successfully installed. Now the site relatedfinance.com is now secured. But the drawbacks to this free SSL is that it will expire after 3 months. So after 3 months, I have to manually, you know, generate a new certificate and set it up again. Okay. So now I'm going to click here. Let's check the domain. You see, it's loading and it's up with a green seal, which is secured, and the site, the domain, the root, the whatever is there will open. So have you seen? So this is the index folder. This is where our site will be installed. You see, right now everything is empty, it's just an empty folder, it's just like a folder on your computer. But it's just that it's a public folder that can be accessible by people all over the world as long as they have internet and they type the address relatedfinance.com. It takes them here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and install our WordPress on this site. Okay, so we're going to go back to our cPanel. Okay, so click here to go back to the cPanel home. From the cPanel, we clicked SSL sleuth here. So now this is our cPanel. So we now scroll down, look for WordPress. So WordPress Manager by Softaculous. So we click on this because we want to install WordPress. So it brings here this Softaculous. Softaculous helps you install different software and programs. Okay. So we're going to click install here to install a new one. Okay. Then it brings you here where you choose the HTTP, the type you want HTTPS, then you choose your domain, and here is relatedfinance.com. Okay, so select the domain. So now, if you wanted to install this in a directory, you put the directory here, so it will automatically create a folder and install it in that directory. But we are not installing the directory, we're installing in the original folder that we created for this domain. Okay. So now we come here. What's the name of the site? We say related finance. Description, we say the finance blog. See, finance related blog on budgeting, debt, net worth, credit, savings, investment, blah blah blah. Okay, so now after we do that, username, the username we want to be using to log into our admin panel for the site, for the related finance, for our WordPress backend. Okay, so that's going to be related finance. Then our password. So I'm going to hide this for security reason and type the password. Okay, then the email, admin email, obviously info at relatedfinance.com. So then we come back here. These are plugins. Plugins help extend the functionality of the site. So I select just those two. Then there are themes here, how I want the site to look like. I can pick any theme here based on how I want the site, the beautiful themes and all that. But I don't want because I have a theme I want to use for it. So I just go ahead and install. Okay. So while it's loading, it doesn't take time. So this it said WordPress has been successfully installed at relatedfinance.com. Then this is the administrative URL. If I click this, it will take me to the admin panel automatically because this is from Softaculous. It has all the details and all that. But you also know your login details and all that. So let's proceed by clicking this, the home, and see how the site looks like from the front end. So you see now there is a website here, even though it doesn't look beautiful and all that. Related finance, mind blown, a blog about philosophy, sample page, hello world. Okay, so you see, got any book recommendation related. So now this is the default theme that comes in here. So if I want to change them, so now let's click the second URL to log into the administrative dashboard for WordPress. So that will log us in automatically. We don't need to provide our username and password. Okay, so we're here. It said welcome to WordPress. So this is the dashboard. This is our WordPress dashboard. So you see where we have posts, all posts, add new categories, tags. We have media, library, add new. We have pages, comments, appearance, plugins, users, tools, settings, and so on and so forth. So it gives you a glance of your dashboard, one post, one comment, one page. This is the default that comes with it. So now, if I want to make the site look presentable, I'll go to appearance, then theme. Just like the Blogger dashboard we talked about, but WordPress is more intuitive, more powerful, and has more features and more control than Blogger. So these are the default theme that comes with it. But I want to use a very lightweight theme called Generate Press. Very important. You need a very lightweight theme that will make your site look faster. So you click on Add New, faster and has good SEO, good navigation, so that when you're applying for AdSense, you won't have much, problem. So I'm going to search for Generate Press because that's the plugin. So I click on Install. It's a free plugin, but it has a premium function. It has a premium feature that without the premium plugin to extend the functionality on the theme, you might have limited functions. So let's go ahead and activate the theme, then check the home page again and see how the site looks like. Okay, so now that the theme is activated, let's come back here again and refresh the related finance site and see how it looks like. So you see, there's a bit of changes, but then again, not entirely the way we want it to, look like. So I'm going to go ahead and install the premium plugin of the to extend the functionality of this premium press. It even comes with starter site where you can choose one and make it look to change the look and feel of the site. Okay, so by the time I'm done, you're going to see that the site is going to be presentable and all that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to install a plugin. The Generate Press premium function comes in as a plugin. Okay, I think something is, let me, okay, so we need to loading. Okay. So what we need to do now is to install the premium plugin that is going to extend the functionality of the theme. Okay. So we come to theme here, appearance theme. Plugin rather, add new plugin. We already installed the generate press theme, so we want to install a plugin. So we say upload. Okay, so we're uploading because I already have it on my system. You can't find it on the WordPress directory because it's not a free plugin, right? It's a paid plugin. So we have to scan to my folder. I have it on my folder already. So let me go grab it. So I'm going to install this. Okay, so the plugin is installed. So I now go to install plugins. So you see, we can now configure the plugin. So we're going to activate this background. The blog is activated already. Then copyright, we activate that. In the free plugin, in the free theme, you cannot customize or change the copyright and some others for. So, but the plugin now gives the functionality that enables you to change your stuff. Disable elements will activate that. Elements it's activated already. Menu plus activated. Secondary nav, and the most important of them all is the site library. This comes with a template of site that you can choose from to customize your site to change the theme, the design of your site. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's refresh the site again, related finance, and see how it looks like. Okay, so it's trying to take shape. It's trying to take shape. So we come back here to site library and say open site library. So there was a site that was imported, so we need to re-import it. So this is the template. It comes with a lot of template for you to choose anyone. Whatever you choose here will now change the looks of the site to now look like whatever you're going to choose here. Okay. So they have a lot of beautiful theme and all of them are accessible and available for you to use. So let's go through it together and pick up something. Okay. This is aroma. This is okay agency. This is called agency. So we can also click on the templates, starter template, and see how they look like or how they will look like when we activate it on the site. Okay. So we've gotten to the end of the site list. You can also go up again. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to pick any template here and use it for the now to customize the site to show you how the site will come out looking gorgeous. Okay, so I'm looking for a theme that I could use. So if you click on this, for instance, it shows you how the site will look like. Okay, so this is it. Is a template, one of the template, the starter library. So this is how this one will look like. But this is more like for a personal portfolio site. Okay. So we can use that for a finance blog. So let's check for something that can go, that will suit that niche finance blog. This is another one. Okay. I think this is what was used the other time. So let's check this. Okay, you see, this is a finance kind of. Okay. So this is the blog content. So let's see the blog section. Okay, the blog section is okay, and it has the navigation. So we're going to import this site. So we click get started, and we on say we understand, then click begin import. Okay. So we'll give it some time for it to, import all the templates, the site, and then our site will start looking that way. Right now, it's looking like this. So we give it some time, and then boom, we have a full, beautiful, functional website that looks just like this. Then at that point in time, we start to do a couple. Okay, so we're here, import complete. So it said view site. So since we have it already here, we come here and refresh. Okay, so you see that our site is already up here. Okay, so that is basically how to use the WordPress content management system to set up your blog. Then you customize a couple of things and make sure that everything is showing well. Then you proceed to applying for Google AdSense. Once you have the required content, about 30 content, you create your Gmail account, you head to google.com forward slash AdSense. Okay. Then there's going to be a form for you to apply, put the URL of your site and all that. And one of these days, we're going to do a video that shows how the whole process goes through. So that will be all for now. If you're having any challenges and all that, as long as you're a member, you always have access to support, and no matter how technical the issue might be, there'll always be someone to assist you, point you in the right direction, or even log into your system or server and help you to fix them. So that'll be all for now. I'll expect to see you in the next video. Bye for now.